January 5th, 2026, and time for your Monday market update, the first one of this year.
Love it.
Let's take a quick look at our McHenry County numbers for the last 7 days. We had 54 new listings, 56 under contract, 59 closed sales, 52 price changes, 20 expireds, and 23 currently on the private network. Now, that is very normal for the first week of the year. So these numbers don't mean a whole lot. So let's instead take a look at 2025 in review.
Yeah, so if we take a look at our price appreciation per county, if we take a look at some of the surrounding counties in our area, so Cook County actually had appreciation of about 7.4%, almost 7.5% there. Lake County at 7.9%, almost 8%, and McHenry County is right at that 4.8% mark, which if you look at those numbers, you'd think McHenry's pretty low. That is actually very, very steady growth. I mean, that's fantastic. And remember, when we take a look at the top 300 markets in the U.S., 30 of those, I mean, are really having heavy price reductions and heavy depreciation within those markets.
So 5% is nothing to scoff at.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we look at inventory for those same counties, we see that Cook County has 2.1 months supply, McHenry has 1.6 months supply, and Lake also has 1.6 months supply. So if you listen to national news, you're going to hear stories of increasing supply and moderating price appreciation, whereas in the Chicagoland area, we're just not quite seeing the same story. We are seeing modest improvement in our inventory, but not significant as in other areas of the country. We're also still seeing price appreciation, whereas other county or other states are seeing depreciation. So we're doing really good here in this area.
And if you take a look at that market time by county as well, I mean, Cook County right now, over the last year, we're sitting at an average of 51 days. McHenry County is sitting at 40 days, as well as Lake County at 40 days as well. Obviously, we get a little bit more hyper-local. I think we saw Arlington Heights was around 33 days. So everything is right around that 30 to 40, 50 day mark, which
is even more why it's a reason to stick with an agent that is really specializing in that particular area, because each area is going to be very different.
Absolutely.
Crystal Lake has a little bit better price appreciation and has a little bit lower days on market than the average for McHenry County. So each city is going to be a little bit different, but all of the areas in the Chicagoland area are doing really well in terms of appreciation and month supply. Still very tight inventory. So the forecast for 2026 is in our area is modest inventory growth, modest interest rate improvement, improved buyer market slightly. So for you buyers out there, it will become a little bit easier to navigate this market, but affordability is still going to be an issue.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a challenge for many, as home sales continue to grow, or not grow, but lag behind. What's going to continue to grow is that population growth, obviously, which we saw over the last year is about 1% population growth, which doesn't seem like a lot. That's about 3.3, I think it was, million people, which is a lot.
So if we have less homes being sold each year, because in 2025 we still only saw about 4 million homes sold nationwide, which is a huge decrease from even 2019, where we saw 5.5 million homes sold, which is more average. So we are in a huge decline of number of homes sold nationwide. However, our population continues to increase. So that's why we're seeing more rentals. And so we'll still see that continue in 2026. The wild card, of course, is quantitative easing. We will have a new Fed chair in May. And if they decide that quantitative easing is the solution, which is when the federal government becomes the largest buyer of the mortgage-backed securities, and they sort of artificially buy the mortgage rates down, well, then all bets are off, and we could see prices drastically increase as interest rates, if they plummet, which again, that is a quantitative easing wild card. We don't know if that's going to happen, but if that were to happen, then all bets are off, and we could have a banner real estate year. I personally don't like that option. I think a steady growth, just every year doing a little bit better, is the better way to go about it. It's the way to keep inflation down and keep our housing market improving year over year, but it'll take time.
Yeah, and I think like we talked about earlier too, a fair point to make is obviously real estate's a hyper-local game, and I think a lot of the headlines like we talked about are the markets that are depreciating, which is why quantitative easing would be put into effect. But I think for some markets like us,
it would not be as great.
No.
Right. So that's it for today. We'll see you again next week. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your Monday. Bye-bye.